Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that is, well, both fascinating and pretty unsettling. We're going to walk through the modern-day assembly line for creating fake people online, step by step.
So you're scrolling, and you see a comment like this. It's from Sarah Jenkins, a mom from the Midwest. It feels authentic, relatable. You feel like you know this person, right? It's a voice you trust.
Except, there's just one little problem. Sarah Jenkins isn't real. She doesn't exist anywhere off of this screen. Her entire identity was engineered. Which brings us to the big question. How in the world are these fake humans actually built?
Okay, let's get into it. The whole process starts with the very first thing you'd ever notice, the face. And this part is all about engineering a visual identity that is absolutely flawlessly consistent.
The secret sauce here is a combination of two key technologies. These incredibly powerful AI image generators called diffusion models, plus a special training technique called a LoRA. Now, you can think of the LoRA as a kind of digital fingerprint for a face. It freezes all those core features, the eyes, the nose, the jawline, so the AI can then generate an endless number of new photos of that exact same person in any situation you can imagine.
And let me tell you, this is a total game changer. See, older methods had this huge flaw called identity drift. You'd ask the AI for a picture of the person at the beach, and suddenly their facial structure would subtly change. It was a dead giveaway. But this new method, it achieves perfect identity preservation. The face stays the same every single time, which makes it incredibly difficult for anyone or any algorithm to spot the fake.
For instance, here's our persona, Sarah Jenkins, at a protest. The face is crystal clear. The context is very specific.
And now, here she is at the beach. Totally different vibe, different lighting, different emotion. But look closely, the face, the core identity, is absolutely identical. There's zero drift.
And just to hammer the point home, here she is in a cafe. The ability to create this whole series of photos, all perfectly consistent, is what makes the visual part of the illusion so powerful. So the face is officially locked in.
So, once you have a consistent face, you need a consistent mind to go with it. The persona has to have a personality, a believable inner world that doesn't contradict itself from one day to the next.
This is done using a technique called psychological scaffolding. It's basically an instruction manual for the AI's personality. Just look at this table here. You can see how it works. You start with a demographic anchor, say a 45-year-old welder from Ohio. Then you dial in specific personality traits like high neuroticism and low openness. Put that all together, and you get a resulting worldview. Skeptical, a little anxious, pretty traditional. And here's the kicker. This scaffold directly controls the AI's language, its vocabulary, its sentence structure, everything, to make sure every single comment it ever makes fits this persona perfectly.
And these aren't just random settings. They're based on a standard psychological framework known as the Big Five personality traits. By tweaking these 5 dials, how curious they are, how organized, how outgoing, and so on, operators can pretty much engineer any personality type they need with some serious precision.
So why is this so critical? Well, because AI, left to its own devices, has a tendency to drift. Its style and tone can change over time. This scaffolding is like a personality lock. It makes sure that the persona you meet on day 1 is the exact same persona you're talking to on day 100.
Okay, we've got a face and we've got a mind, but a brand new account that just suddenly pops up and starts talking about politics, that's a massive red flag. So the final component is to manufacture a believable life history, a clean digital footprint. And this is done through a totally automated process called the warm-up cycle. It's this carefully planned 4-week schedule of just acting normal. Week 1, the account just follows some popular pages. Week 2, it starts liking harmless stuff, cat videos, food pics. By week 3, it's posting its own harmless content. And finally, in week 4, it joins a few hobby groups to build up a good reputation. It's all about mimicking how a real person would slowly get started online. And the content mix here is absolutely key. It is overwhelmingly innocent. I mean, look at that chart. A whopping 85% is just generic lifestyle stuff. The entire goal is to seem as boring and normal as humanly possible to fly under the radar of the platform's fraud detection systems. And that means, for this entire month, 0% of its activity is political or controversial. So, after the face is built, the mind is programmed, and the history is properly aged, all the pieces are finally in place.
The persona is now what they call a warmed-up asset, and it's ready for activation.
The system flags the account is good to go. The warm-up is complete. The synthetic human is now ready for its real purpose.
And that brings us right back to where we started. This one comment. It looks so simple, so organic. But now we know the truth. We know it's the final product of this deep, complex industrial pipeline. Every single part of it, the face in the profile picture, the worried sentiment, the timing of the post, it's all been engineered.
So let's just recap that assembly line one last time. Step 1, the face, generated for perfect, unwavering consistency. Step 2, the mind, built on that psychological scaffold so it never breaks character. Step 3, the history, manufactured through that warm-up cycle to look totally authentic. And finally, Step 4, deployment, when the finished product is activated and sent out to do its job. This isn't about a few rogue actors in a basement anymore. This is a repeatable, scalable, industrial process. And it leaves all of us with a really tough question we have to grapple with. When any person you meet online can be engineered from scratch, what does real even mean anymore?